Just let me know if the music level is too high or anything. So I picked this up earlier. $10 Hawaii note. Picked up, decent condition. Picked that one up. Picked up a 1929 series. It's got some folds and stuff in it, but 1929 $20 bill. You don't see those much. It kind of faded in the back, but I don't have one, so it goes in the collection. That'd be pretty cool. What's up, Chew? Exclamation point NAM to get in the giveaway. It's been running in the background. Don't know what I'm giving away yet. Won this in a giveaway this week. Crisp uncirculated silver certificate. Pretty cool win. Very cool. Well, it looks like Del Brett won EOS over there at Foster's. Very cool. Very cool. And these are those let me remove that out of there. I don't need to see that anymore. Now you see I got Foster's running there in the bottom. I'm in the giveaway. I can't win. I was going to sell these rolls, but there's the two heads enders. You know, where I've got so many rolls, I was just cleaning out stuff, and I have no idea. I suspect these are, if I had to guess, I would say Wilma Mankiller or Sally Ride. These are, well, let me see what year it is if I can see it. If I can see what year we got. Oh no, wait a minute. That's a 2024, it says. Okay, so those are newer. These are 2024s. So maybe I can't even remember who was in 2024. Who was in that one? I don't know. Hey man, I had to take a break as well. I had to tend to family for a while, and I just, I had to drop everything, so I know how it is. Definitely, man. Glad to hear you were winning, though. At least you're winning something somewhere, right? Why didn't that focus? Probably because of the lighting. Turn this light back on, see what happens. There it goes. So on this Mary Edwards Walker one, there's tons of errors you want to look for on it. Where's my little pointer? So this one, you want to pay attention to anything right here between, on cents, there's usually like a lot of die chips between the C and E, and the N. So that one has one right there between the C, E, or between the C and the E and the E and the N, you can see. Oh, get it there. Right there. See the two little chips. You also want to look for some, this doesn't have it. I could look for it. Hey, Bill. But you also want to look for, stupid thing, man. I had that all dialed in too in this dang light. You want to look for doubling right here around the, on the outside of the S. That one doesn't have the doubling, but it does have the two little chips there between the C, E, E, and the N. And then if you look right here On the back side of the hair, it's doubled. Right there. Oh, hold on. Bad shadow. I definitely need to get a new scope. My old one's broken, and that's why I'm kind of having to use my cam. And then you also want to check for, a lot of these will have a field restricted strike through blotch of where grease was right in here. Let's see here. Where's that box at? So I've been going through all my stuff, just parsing the collection and trying to whittle it down. Found another box of tubes. But I have one that's, I have it labeled Maya Angelou double earring air 12, 14, 20, or 1922. Went to the bank and got some customer rolls, and all the rolls were filled with uncirculated Maya Angelou quarters. Apparently they weren't a roll hunter or error searcher. They must have just been looking for silver or something, but yeah, so I have it labeled as DDR 01, 03, and 04. At one point in time, these DDRs sold for a lot. Yeah, I've got them even separated too. They sold for a lot of money. 1, 2. So let's see if we can see any with a difference on them. If the scope will cooperate or not. Probably won't. We'll try it though. Let's see if we can get a good zoom. I don't know how much this zoom's going to work, but we'll try it. Yeah, too fuzzy. So we're going to try it this way then. So what you're looking for is... yeah, we're not going to be able to see it on this. Definitely won't. Yeah, I'm going to have to get my... I'm going to have to get a microscope. This ain't going to do it. No way, Jose. Stupid thing.
I want my $2!
Nope. That failed. Epic fail. Epic fail. Yeah, I'm going to have to get another cam. What kind of microscopes do you guys use? Because I'm definitely going to need a new one. This isn't going to cut it. Yeah, this ain't going to work. Bummer. Oh well. I may have to do a whole different setup on it. Temu one. Well, I had one. It was one of those USB something or another. It was real cheap, and the little wire that went into it kind of pulled out of the back of it, and did not work. So I've got kind of like a tripod action here with a phone to see if I can get it to work, and it just does not want to stay on there steady. See if I can slide it down some, maybe get it closer. See if we can get it closer to work. And just the problem is with the phone, you got it kind of hanging over, and then the lighting is blocked because the phone is hanging over the dang light. And I like having zooms that work. Yep, get in on the giveaway. It's running in the background. I don't know how many minutes are left on it, but yeah, that's too fuzzy. That's a digital zoom. I'm using the digital to zoom on it, and that will not work. Let me turn this light off, see if this will help. Maybe that light was killing me. Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to scratch that idea, I guess, because that's about as close as I can get it on those. So yeah, those are all double die reverse coins there that I've sold on and off. All right, let's see here. Zoom these in a little bit. Let's open up one of these rolls. On the Edwards quarter, the star has die chips in them. Yeah, yep, I found those. You are correct. Let's see here. Let me make this one bigger. Let's see what happens. Dang it. That's what happens when you have it. I've been, so the way it's set up, you know, and got the chat and all that, I was just playing with these windows and have it set up so when I do my second screen, if I want to jump it over, well, I'm on this wheel for something here. I'm not even paying attention. I could probably win something else. Nope, I think I lost. Yeah, I just lost whatever wheel that was. Oh well. That's fine. So anytime I change my screen over here, that'll change down there. So I can pop it and get Nightbot going. Nightbot will work. I can pop him in and out. Now, quicker, easier. I don't even know if Nightbot is even in my chat or not. Yeah, he is. Okay, cool. There we go. So let's get it running as well so it gets me a list of active chatters. Hey Ron, what's going on, man? I'm having issues with my Zoom cam action. I thought I had enough lighting with it. It's just not working. Let me pull it away from the light so I'm gonna see what happens. Maybe we can get it to work this way. Push the light over to it.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Maybe not. We'll see. Yeah, maybe it'll work. You'll be able to see my feet. There's my foot. See if this works any better. Yeah, a little bit. Still would like that to be zoomed in more.
Freeze, gopher!
Freeze, gopher. Still not good enough to see the good airs. Oh well. Probably just have to get rid of that screen. It is what it is. Cam 2. Let's move him around. Let's see what we can do here. So we'll just make Cam 2 large over everything. And we'll see if that'll work better. There we go. I can get rid of that. There we go. We'll just make this screen larger. Like that. There we go. You can see that. So yeah, let's bust open one of these mystery 2024 rolls. Let's see what it actually is. Uh-oh. No longer into the giveaway. I guess that means it's going to pick a winner. Wonder if it does it automatically or not. Let's choose a winner here. Let's see. Good luck. Exclamation point NAM if you're not in. I gotta find it though. 7 users, 7 tickets. We're about to pick a winner. Let's see here. Over here. Let me resume entries real quick. Alright, it's open back up. Anybody didn't get in. Exclamation point NAM. Open it back up real fast. I have no idea what I'm going to give away.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I do have one more of these. I'll give this one away. That's one of the last ones sitting here. And who do we have? Who do we have? Did everybody get in? David Gerst, did you get in? Yep, you're in. All right, I'm going to close it up. Oh, yeah, there you are. Ron's in, David's in. Cool. All right, closing. Let's pick us a winner. Good luck. Lucky James Eller. He's back to his luckiness. Right there, James Eller. That'll be yours, buddy. Congrats. He's getting back into the swing of things. He's back to his old hijinks. Let me get an envelope and just put your name on it right now. Congratulations, James Eller. That way we'll just get it right now. Congrats. Coming your way, man. I'll mail everything out probably Monday. I got two or three envelopes sitting right behind me, so we'll give those away. We'll give something else away. I highly doubt we'll even get to 25 likes or anything like that. This is just a little pop-up. We're gonna see what's going on. So this is, like I said, a heads roll 2024. It's been sitting on my desk for a while. Let's see what's in it. Don't know. Oh, they're the Edwards Walker. So we can check them for some errors. Check them for some errors. A lot of people don't like the old shiny coinage. I like it. I like being the first one to be able to, cherry pick all the nice coins out of there. Just handle them by the edge. Don't put thumbprints on them. And you'll be all right. Let me put a little magnifier on here. If I see anything worthy here. So what I do, I'll just get them going heads and just do kind of a, let me move the screen down so you can see what I'm doing. You guys can't see what I'm doing way down there. Pull this down some more. There we go. Filters. Advanced mask. BH Ringer just won something. Height and width, close. Where's my hand? Right there. All right. So I'll, just kind of do a quick look at them in the light. Just flash them a little bit. And I'm looking for any major marks, that what they consider like when you're grading a distracting mark. So I'll just kind of roll it like that. You can kind of see the wash solution, still on there. It's really hard to I'll go through an entire box of them, and man, these are actually kind of decent ones for fillies. Fillies aren't usually the best. Yeah, so there's marks in there. Fillies aren't usually the best. Mark on the cheek. But most of the errors on this one, I mean, that's a decent one, so I'll give that a second look later. This one's got a big mark across the face. Same thing. I mean, look at that. These are two coins out of the same. They were back to back to each other, and look at the difference. I mean, this one just looks like it. And this wasn't even ender on the roll. It was, who knows. So yeah, I'll go through the whole thing. That's a nice looking coin right there. And I'll pull out the best ones and just put them in tubes and keep them. You know, someday somebody will contact me and go, hey man, I need a nice one for such and such. That one's all dinged up. Marks, I mean, nice, beautiful luster on it, but it's got, you know, marks in the top of the hair and on the cheek. And if you get some that have a certain error on them, most likely there's going to be a bunch of them with the same error. So I'm looking at the S, the hair, nothing. Nothing. I'm hoping to get something with the doubling on. I think we found one right there, maybe. Yeah, it's a good possibility. So let's see if we can even see it. I'm not sure if we can or can't. Don't know. See if my scope will get you on there. No. And that's not going to do it either. You need a loop. But this one has doubling on the S. Oh yeah, big time. The S, the T, the N, the E, the 5, the 2. I'll set this aside. I'll figure out a way to show you guys this one. But that's what I'm looking for. That's the better of the air. Fillies with no bullet holes, yeah. But that's the air you're looking for. So I found one. There's a high likelihood that there are more in this roll with that same air. I'm looking at the outer edge of the 5, the outer edge of the S. I have found some of them that actually go up into the A of America. That's got a little bit on it, so I'll recheck that later when I'm just sitting down doing nothing. These are decent. These are definitely decent enough to put in an album. They're not all scratched up like most of them are. Sometimes you just marks on the cheek. But I have several boxes like this that I need to go through and just take the stuff back to the bank. See, that's a decent one, but you probably can't see it. I want a bill on Foster's. Again, do I got to claim it? I gave away a bill on Foster's. Hold on one sec. I just put on there. I heard I won again. Thank you. Unreal. Let's see what we got. Cool. I like bills. He was giving away coins, and I don't need, as you guys know, I don't need any more coins. Unless it's like some really awesome error coin or something. Let me just put his screen over here. We'll see if YouTube dings me for having some other's content on there. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. YouTube's kind of particular on things. See, this is a nice one, but when you roll it, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. There's a little hairline mark right there under the eye. Come on. Really? Right there, like above the nostril, coming into the cheek. You can see that little hairline. I mean, yeah, that's a nice looking coin, but I won't keep them because I've got so many of them. But like I said, Wayne, shoot me a list of what you're looking for. I got no problem pulling some out for you as I'm looking. There's another. So this one's got the die chip on the C and the E. If you can see it. Right there between the C and E on the bottom edge. Right there, that little dot. Can't wait till that, man. I smashed my finger a long time ago and that's still there. But I would say on this quarter, I've probably found maybe close to 20 different errors. Or varieties of those errors. I'm still really bummed that I didn't have any circulated coinage to go through. Yeah, it's got marks all over it. But on these women's quarters, you want to look here like behind the ear and in the hair. A lot of them will have like grease strikes in those that you can pull out for the error hunters. I mean, how many of you guys do you guys as soon as you can make a list. Do you guys even collect like major errors or no? That's a nice one to look at again. See, that's a pretty good example. There's not many, and what I'll do, I'll hold it like angled to the light, almost like 90 degrees, and just kind of pull it back, and you can see the little hairline. See, but if you hold it that way, it's nice and shiny. Hold it that way, you can see like the little marks on it, but that's, yeah, right there on the cheek. So, but from back here, yeah, it looks nice. We'll recheck that. That one's got marks on it. Marks on it. Nope, Foster's is done. I didn't even know he was going to stream tonight. I was just kind of flipping through watching football games. I was streaming. Well, I had a like this little second window here. I had it down here in the corner where the fireworks were. Had the football game on. Was watching it. Watching the football game. But all the alert commands should work. The heist, I believe, I got it working properly. The giveaway stuff, I think I've got those working as well. The modules, let's see here.
Bueller.
I just still have to figure out a way for people to automatically get points when they come into chat. But I don't know why that doesn't work. So let me, or maybe there's a command that I don't have turned on. Mods, here we go. Let's see here. Modules. Maybe there's commands. No. Preferences. Default. Oh, here we go. Points. There's got to be something where I can, there we go. Display points, top points, add points. All right, there you go. I'll turn that on. You guys are all mods. You can add your own points. So exclamation add points. Username and amount should work now. If you want to give her a try. Because otherwise I'd have to keep stopping and keep adding points. But the remove points command does not work. But you should be able to add points. There, Ron, straight for the jugular. See if the plus 99 works. There you go, Ron. You got 9 kajillion zillion points. Let's see if that'll work for KJ. If it'll just add them to himself or not. Or if you got to actually put your username in. Hey, he's going to take all the points away from the internet, man. Yeah, KJ, I think you'd have to use your add points at KJ in Ohio and then the amount of points. There you go. See if that works. There you go. Now you guys can add your own points. Add them up. Add them up. I've got so many coins to go through, and there's something running in the background. Is that block is the voice I hear? I think so. Something's going on. I think he's live right now too. Or he was. He was live. There we go. Not quite sure. Let me get some different music running here. YouTube's kind of picky. If you play anything that they can oh no, it's messing around today. I'm gonna try to piece together some intro. Have you guys ever used that that program Audacity? That thing's pretty neat. So I was I'll show you what I was playing around with here. Recover. So Audacity, you can where are we at? Window capture? Nope. Display. So Audacity, you can take a bunch of different music clips. You know, so these are all like clips that I've sampled off of files, and you can piece them all together to make like let's see here. I don't even know if it'll capture the audio on this or not. Cancel. So let's do a window capture. Capture the audio. And there. So if you play it, I was piecing together some Beastie Boys stuff.
Let me clear my throat! Oh, yes, indeed.
So as that's playing across all three of those files that I merged. So I'm thinking I'm gonna try to piece together something. Unable to find Wayne. Uh-oh. Oh, you misspelled the name there. You forgot your BB at the end. And then you forgot your space there. You got to do add points. Get rid of that one of those @ signs. As I believe that is messing yours up there, Del Brett. Yeah, it's the syntax on all those is fireworks. Nope. Where'd my fireworks go? Not paint. Motion graphics. There we go. Gotta get my fireworks back up there. There we go. My fireworks running. And I still have... I know they would be boring streams, but I still got all those Lincoln cents to go through. Because the rolls that... the same box that these came out of... ton of them had the spike head error, which they call a spike head error. It's a die crack coming from the top of the head onto the out to the rim. Yeah, see, that one's got one right there, but obviously you probably won't be able to see it. So yeah, sometimes they're a hot sale on eBay and sometimes they're not. This is why I need to get my scope going again, so I could just slide it right under the scope, bam, 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 and be done with it, instead of trying to finagle all this, you know, this little action I got going here, because that is not going to work. Yeah, the bank not having them nickels really threw me off today. So, women's quarters. What else we got here? All quarters with diatrician errors. Yeah, what's over there? These are some I found June 15th. Let's see what's in there. I just hurry up and did a search, and so we'll see what's in here. Maybe we'll find something good to give away. But it's funny, I'll go through some of these old rolls that are dated a long time ago, and I'll be like, why the heck did I even save that? You know, I was thinking maybe it was some cool error at the time. So these just might, you know, these might just be a variety of... So this one's got a die crack here at the bust. That's got a die crack here at the... from... QU, if you can see it, right there, from the Q over to the neck, there's a crack, and then one down to the A. Two little cracks right there on that one. Not much wear on it. It's in North Carolina. That one's just a lot of grease strike through. In God We Rust. Depending on how you hold it. See how the T's faded out right there. That's pretty cool. So I'll give that one away right now. How about that? Let's do this. See if old Nightbot's gonna work or not. This will just pull someone from chat. See if this will work. And the winner is... Hey, SkyQuest. Watch, SkyQuest will win. Streamlabs, you can't win. Sorry. Try that again. Yeah, this will be for the In God We Rust quarter. I'll give that away. How can Streamlabs win twice? We're going to have to get Streamlabs out of there. Come on. Yeah, the winner command only works for me. Ron Pierce wins it. There you go. Congrats, Ron Pierce. You get the In God We Rust quarter. Congrats to you. Sorry, I had to cough. In God We Rust. Ron Pierce. There you go. Congrats. All right. Let's see what else we got in here. A W quarter. W quarter in the roll. In the tube. It's a 2019 Lowell W. I won't be giving that one away. What we got here? Here is a early stage spinning horse. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, depending on what way I do the light. Yeah. You also want to look for feed finger lines underneath the horse as well. What's this one? Oh, man. I need to go through all these tubes. Look at that one. This is called the Crown die chip. Look at that die chip on top of that hat. That is massive. That's about one of the largest ones you'll see. Dang. Shoot, I didn't even know this stuff was in these rolls. Yeah, that's a really good air. I don't know. What do you guys think caused that? Environmental? What do you guys think? These are just 1976. See if there's any nice ones in there. That one's decent. Those are decent ones. And then I probably pulled these just because they were good condition. So I'm just, I mean, look at that cartwheel on that one. Decent shape. And on the back quarters, you know, you want to look for any grease strike throughs. They show up as like big blotches on the faces of the bats. And then on these, the tall grass quarter, you want to look for die chips up here on top of the wing, die chips right here, die chips on this middle wing. I thought I had one right here. To show you guys, I do not. But yeah, you want to look for the die chips on there. This one doesn't have it. See, from afar, that one looks good. It looks like, you know, nice cartwheel. Look at that thing. But you get it close, you can see the little hairline marks right there on the cheek. I don't know. I like seeing clean fields and no marks on the high points of the coins to keep them in the collection. What we got here? Two more blingers. Those are D. So these may be good albums. I don't see. I may just be spoiled that I get a lot of good-looking coins where I'm at. There's a lot of people I talk to. They seem to not be able to find good ones. And I find a lot of nice state quarters all the time. That's a state one there. Rhode Island. This one is another Delaware. Then on the Nevada quarter, you want to look for not a blur. You want to look for die chips here on the back of this horse. It's called a pooping horse air, but there's a lot of them you'll find with die chips on there. A lot of the state quarters are going to have strike through grease airs as well. There's a nice looking 2023P. Kanake Ole quarter. Texas. So this one's got strike through grease. You kind of see the blotchiness in front of the face, on the cheek, then down there on the neck you'll see like a darker blotch. That's a Wisconsin. Common on those. The grease strikes are really common on those. Another, that's got a lot of grease strike there behind the head. But obviously can't see them. The lighting stinks. Let me see if I zoom this in this way some. No, that doesn't work either. Oh, that's a really low mintage quarter. That's one of the lowest mintage quarters. I think that one's like 22.6 million. 2012 El Yonke. Pretty decent shape. You ever find those in the wild, keep them. And nothing else in there. So yeah, a couple of good ones in there. I would say that die chip on that was the major one right there, man. That one was really cool. Wasn't expecting to find that guy in there. Very cool. That, the W quarter, and the... That was pretty neat. Let's see what other two we got here. We have Dietitian, Mixed Roll, Nose Chips, Feed Finger Lines. This one says, let's check this tube out. Special Air Full. Let's see what I thought was a special air way back when. You never know. Oh, right there, big old die chip on the nose, right there on top. Look at that one. That's a big old die chip. So we got die chip on the nose. Oh wow, look at there. Big die chip on the goggles. Between the goggles and the word wars. Big old die chip. Pretty decent shape. So this one has a little die crack coming from the front goggle. Very small. Here you can see it kind of going up to the O and 2. But it also has the feed finger lines. If we can see it, like right there from the chin behind Liberty. I used to sell a lot of those. A lot of people were looking for those for some reason. There's a 2019 Lowell. You want to look for die chips here on the bell tower. So to the right of the bell tower, right here. Oops, right there is where you're looking. Right. You see that big old blob right there. You also want to look for chips on that wheel itself. The Roosevelt women's quarter, you want to look for the one of the major ones is a die crack there at the hat, coming from right there at the top, just to the right of the word of. There's a die crack coming all the way down into the hat and the hair. I've seen those go all the way down into the hair and like towards the neck. On the West Virginia quarters, you want to look for what they call a cud. A cud is a die chip on the edge. So right down here on the edge right there. Those are real easy to miss. That's a pretty large one right there. But that's when the die breaks on the outer edge. That's a nice error. What we got here? Probably more cracks in the hat. So here's another version of that crack from the hat going down, but it's a little further in the middle of the hat. It's directly under the O. Going into the hair right there. So that's when I'm going through that quarter, that's what I'm looking for on those. The Patsy Mink quarters, you want to look for a die crack. You guys can't even see that. You want to look for a die crack coming down this back of the arm here and coming out to the edge. And all women's quarters, you want to look at the nose, the back of the ear. I mean, there's a lot of errors on those. This one I used to call the hair flip die chip on the top of her hair. You see that little chip poking up right there. Back in 2022, I came across a box of these. I had about 16 rolls worth of this error. And I was the only one selling them on eBay. And I had them priced so low that it was just bing, 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 bing. Sell, 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 sell. There's more feed finger lines behind Liberty. You want to look for those. You can kind of pick it up there. Pretty common on the Tuskegee. And you want to look for die chips in the planes as well on these. Yeah, there's another one. Same one. Feed finger lines. Tuskegee, yep. Let's see here. This one's called the leaky bucket error. And they are die chips on the bucket in the well. So if you want to look on the... See a big die chip on the bucket, and then look at the base of that well is a big die chip too. The bottom of it. They call that the leaky bucket error. What we got here? Some people called this the ghost comet error. It's kind of like a tail of a comet behind her head. Right there, you can see it. It was just some the way they were minted or something. Some people collect those. I kept a few in case anybody ever wanted one. There's another one of those hair flip die chip errors, like we just saw right there. See if this one's got the doubling on it. Now this one just has a die chip between the C and the E. Real common on that one. Here's some feed finger. This is a 1993 Philly. Looks like feed finger lines out in the front of his nose. There. The pictured rocks quarter, you want to look for a die chip. It's kind of on the front side of the I don't know, what is that, a rock outcropping or something, but you want to look right there for a die chip on these. I mean, you'd almost miss that if you didn't know what you were looking for. That's a die chip on that one. What we got here? Let's see, this one's got the dietitian. Wayne, I think I sent you one of these just as an extra present. So you'll have one of these in your envelope, but yours is a lot nicer than this one. So see the kind of white halo looking stuff behind her head and in front of her face, the little semicircles? Those are from worn out dies. Wayne, I sent you one. It's like mint state condition of that air. But I found a couple, and there's 2 more of them, but I found a couple of those. Wish I'd get one. This is the Rockefeller quarter. Want to look on the elbow, bottom of the elbow right here is a die chip. Pretty common error on those. Yeah, you're welcome. So I'm willing to share. If I've got 200 of them, I don't need 200 of them. I just pull them out just in case someone goes, "Hey man, have you seen this? You got one?" Oh yeah, these common on the Jovita Idar quarter. Real common to have die cracks coming from the rim up into the neck, all down through here. This has got a very large one, honestly. It goes all the way up into the neck. Look at that. That's crazy. That's probably one of the larger ones you see. And then you want to check the other side to see if the crack comes down on the coin from the other way. And it does not on this one. But yeah, that's a really large crack. I'm going to set that one to the side. That's one of the larger ones I've seen on that. Here's an S quarter, Pictured Rocks S quarter. Set that over there. Yeah, here's one I'd sold a lot of too. I knew it was a man killer. I called this one I always called this one the lip chip. There's a die chip right in front of the bottom lip. Yeah, I've been filming some. So if you look right on the front, see that little like dark spot there? That's a die chip on the front of the mouth. And then if you look behind that, coming from the bottom of the nose around the back of the mouth, that is a crack. Right there, that kind of semicircle from the top lip back, that's a die crack on that. And then you always want to flip them over just to see if there's any other die chips. So I can see one right here. Pretty common die chip is in the back of the hair right there. That's a die chip filling her hair. Yeah, I've been planning on doing little minis. That quarter is in pretty good condition right there. Not bad. Yeah, you can see that crack right there coming around the mouth. This is the one that had the major double die break. So if you're ever looking through these, I know I've showed it to you guys before. There's a die, it's called a retain cud die break. It's got a crack from here to here, but the part of the die did not split off. So there's some you'll find that just have it on that side, and then there's others you're going to find it'll start here, go all the way across the star, and come all the way across the coin. And there's a whole, it's a what they call a bisecting die crack from rim to rim. I've only found one in my life. And those, when they first were found, sold for $1,000 each, which was crazy. So this one's got a little chip on the nose and the mouth. Oh yeah. So just know all women's quarters, you want to look at the nose, the mouth, back here behind the ear. It's just common across all of the quarters. On the man killer one, see, common area die chip right there. You want to look for up here. And if you got a good loop, always look in the hair right here. It's riddled with die cracks. Here, you want to look for feed finger lines right here off the shoulder. Obviously, that one crack that goes across the coin. This coin had tons of errors.
Freeze, Gopher!
Tons of them. Like I showed you earlier on this one, you always want to look here at the die chips here in the bell tower, chips here on the wheel, all the way around. I found them. And I always, on the obverse of just regular like quarters, I always look for cracks down here at the bottom of the bust, extending out to the Q. I always look for feed finger lines here. Just kind of roll it, looking for strike through grease. Just when you start blasting through them. So here's two more. This is the Edith Kanaka Ole quarter. Same thing. It's a women's quarter, but same thing. Look at the nose. We got a die chip forming. You want to look at is there one in the mouth? No, there's one on. This is a different one here. I've not seen many of these. There's a die chip right there on the front of the lip. Forming. You can see it right there. And then on the reverse of these, you want to look for die crack right here between the O and the mountaintop. And you want to look all in a name right here. So right there, the K and the A is grease-filled die. See how it's dark blotches there? Grease-filled the die and mess those up. You want to look for doubling on the O, L, and E. I have found them with chips on the nose, the nostrils. And that's what these I'd made up. So the Kanaka Ole quarter, tons of airs. So I made up these little sets right here. So there's 8 different airs, and this is all that one quarter. So I made up a set to sell. If you wanted 8 quarters with 8 different airs, scrap metal. So, I make up sets like this. So, quarters that have tons of airs. So that's an 8-pack. I could probably make a full sheet, 20 airs of one quarter. They had a lot of them. Here's another West Virginia. So you remember the other one had had that cud die break over here. This one, it's right there. Common on this quarter. So you want to look all on this bottom edge. On those, what do we got here? What is that? Now see, this one's got the leaky bucket air, but it's really small. And then right there at the rooftop, they call it the snow on roof area. You want to look for die chips right here, all the way down the roof line on both. But that one also has a little chip there on the top of the bucket. You can see, baby one there. All right, we'll try this again. See if this one's visible. Spitting horse. See how it's coming from the mouth down into the A. So I'm going to give that away right now. Ron, you can't win this one. You just got one. So if it pulls your name, I'm doing another one. Give somebody else a shot. Here we go. What's up, Dagger? I'm giving away a spitting horse right now. Wayne Finicum. There you go, bud. And he subscribes to the channel. Thanks, Wayne. Congrats to you. Let me grab a 2x2. Here's one right there. Dirty. I'll change out the 2x2. I just need it so put your name on it. Here you go. Congrats, Wayne. A New Year's spitting horse for you. Congrats. What else we got in here? The San Antonio Missions quarter. You want to look for die chips right there. There's a die chip there, but we want to look for die chips on top of the building here. At any one point on the cross, there'll be die chips. Die chips on the wave here. Obviously, you want to... Thanks, man. And then you want to look for... like I said, when I look at them, I'll look for cracks at the bust and all that. But you're also looking to make sure it's not a W quarter as well. So yeah, that one's just got, so this one does have a real small die chip there on the front of that wave. If you look right there, real small chip, and then on top of the building, a little small chip. What do we got here? Here's another one, starting of a nose chip, Kanaka Ole. And, here's one with the die crack on the elbow. So look on the elbow, right there above O of operation. That's a crack coming all the way down the arm to the rim. Like I said, I've seen them there, and I've seen them right here coming down the back of the arm here. This one doesn't have it, but sometimes you'll see a crack coming all the way down the back of the arm and doing the same thing out there at the elbow. That's the only real major error I've found on this quarter. There's that crack. What we got here? Let's see. I was hoping that would have one of those grease strike throughs on it. It does not. Alright, that one had some pretty cool finds in it. Those are all pretty decent ones. Then I'll show you this one. This is the we'll see how much it weighs too. It weighs, I think it was like 5.5. A quarter generally weighs, a regular clad struck business strike quarter weighs 5.67 grams. And you guys can see that. Yep. Get it flat. May or may not weigh it right. We'll see. So that says 5.3. My other scale, when I had it flat, said 5.5. Missing clad layer quarter. Pretty cool. And if you handle a lot of coinage, you can almost feel it's different. So I have that one. There's one 5.5. This one weighs even less. Because when they look like that, that looks like patina on copper to me. You know, it's... Oh. So that's missing the layer as well. And this one, I suspected of it just due to the color. Yeah, I think they were. I mean, you look at the color of that, and then it's got like crazy lines going across the planchet. I don't know what's up with that. And you can see the lines on it, but it weighs. I mean, that's what it's supposed to weigh. So I have no idea what's going on with that one. Some sort of weird wash on it, or I don't know, but it looks a lot like it would be missing the clad layer, but it's not. I do not know what's up with that. And what's this one? I find a lot of them like that too. It's just weird, like lines going across the planchet. But it's not on the other side, so that's probably a feed finger or something. What we got up here? Yeah, so like that way in front of me, I've got a whole just stack of these tubes that I, still need to go through. What's this one say? State. Also, that's a full tube of state quarters with strike-through errors. Or so it says. I could have it labeled wrong. Who knows? I just threw something on there. See what we got. Yeah, they're all strike-through, I can tell. So the ones on top are probably the nicer ones. Or they got little toning to them. That's got a pretty good blotch on it. So all in front of the face. See that like dark patch coming from his nose all the way down into his neck? That's a grease strike through. You just kind of got to catch it in the right light to see all those. So yeah, these are all strike through airs. I mean, really nice looking coins. I mean, that hasn't seen much circulation. You know, if you still have a cartwheel on them, they haven't, yeah, it's this, my goal in 2026 Dagger is to, yes, I have a lot of these tubes. And when I bought my first set of tubes, I was like, well, I'm just gonna, you know, the more you buy us something, the better price you get. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy the 100 box. I'll never fill those up. Well, yeah, I've ordered a 100 box several times over. I was like, yeah, I'll never fill that up. Yeah, I was wrong about that. I mean, right here at my legs, because this is underneath my desk right now. I have 4 boxes like this sitting right here at my feet, just all labeled with whatever. So I mean, these 6 right here are 2023P Bessie Coleman BU quarters, direct from rolls. So I guess I went through tons and tons of rolls of them. I mean, you can see they're shiny in there. And pulled out, you know, the best ones and kept filling tubes, sent all the others back to the bank. What we got here? BU from rolls, checked. Select BU. So these are the best of the best. Right there. I call them Select BU because I hand selected an amount of rolls. Man Killer Airs, Man Killer Airs, Man Killer Airs. Washington crossing to Delaware. 2 rolls of Kentucky BU quarters. We got here Iowa quarters. Diatrician. So yeah, I still need to go through all these. Let's see what's in this one here. But man, if I were to live stream and just continuously do it, I'd be live streaming for a year. So these are, these, and these are all Kanaka Ole quarters with airs. What's this one? 2021P full from bankrolls. So these are all the Washington quarters. Washington quarters, those are empty tubes. Well, I'm going to do a video series on how, excuse me, once you reach a point, I never thought my collection would be this, but I just really got into it. And then I started getting into it heavier so I could supplement by selling airs cheaper than anybody else. Because if I had a bunch of them, I could sell them cheaper than anybody else. So that was, you know, my goal was to just build a stockpile of them. So these are all the tube of vestment quarters that I found just while hunting. I mean, there's some shiny ones in there. But I know that's not the only tube I have. Here's a tube of just proof estimate that I found while hunting. State coins, strike through airs, feed finger lines. I think those are empty. Those are empty rolls there. Offset strikes. What we got here? There's that Sally Ride Ghost Comet airs right there that I showed you. Tuskegee's. And what else we got under here? Got those. All right, let me pull. This is one of the boxes I pulled out today, so we'll see what's in here. So I started making, so I just took like large boxes like this that were kind of 2 inches. And then I made these little holders. I made little cardboard holders like that to put in these boxes. And I know these are probably some of the earliest 2x2's I ever made up. This box was deep in a hole, so we can see what's on them. Because like I said, you guys see anything you want, let me know. Because the one good thing I've always told myself, the one good thing about collecting coins is if I ever have to, I can take all of this crap back to the bank. And it's still worth. The only thing I would have lost is the time. So yeah, so these are just quarters that I grabbed and put in order. Some of the nicer ones that I need to go back through, because these were probably when I first started collecting them and I thought they were in great shape, and now my discerning eye would say no. Like that I would toss back. I'd keep that one. Toss out, yeah, a lot of these I need to go through. I'd toss a lot of these back, because I would generally not keep them. Let's see what these are. These are... So yeah, so I reached a point. Which proofs, Wayne? Proofs of which quarters, which coins? Like that tube of proofs that I found, I have no idea what condition they are. If it was kind of a proof, I just grabbed it and threw it in there. Let's see here. I mean, they might be crappy proofs. I don't know. I know they're not proofs directly out of a proof set. These are proofs I've pulled out of circulation. That one's decent, 89. 89S I found. Here's a, what's this one? That's a Pennsylvania. I mean, these are circulated proofs. I don't know. These aren't collector grade. But if you were just looking for proof quarters. Indiana. This one is Wyoming. These are coins people broke out. Rhode Island. That one's now that's in decent shape. Decent. And you can tell just from the side too. I mean, that's that second one from the end. Yeah, it's the best one of the bunch. And that is a Massachusetts. Dang, that's got some bling to it still. I got 390 Kennedy proofs for my bank. Sweet. And this one is a 2013. So that's America the Beautiful quarter. Great Basin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 right there. So that's $2 there. Hell, I'll send all those to you if you want them. I mean, like I said, they're not really collector grade proof coins. They're just ones I found. Let me know. They'll be in that tube right there. What we got here? So yeah, so when I was going through them and going, okay, yeah, now I need to start putting all these in order. Yeah, see, that's a wrong. That error's not right. Off center. This is back when my knowledge wasn't as what it is today. So these, I got them as nice state, uncirculated. I got them labeled. I'm sure half these, if I go through them, half these I would toss back. Yeah, I'd toss that back. Texas, what we got here? California. Yeah, none of these are keepers. But that's how long ago that, how long ago I was doing it. and just went, oh yeah. Anything that had a little luster, I just grabbed it and threw it in the thing. Yeah. So I need to go through all these boxes and just... But I hate to toss one that's in kind of decent condition knowing there's... Now that one's pretty decent. Knowing someone out there, it would be a keeper for them. You know? Because I want to help people finish their albums. You know? But, let's see here. Iowa, Virginia... Georgia, yeah, so these are just... So one thing I would suggest is, like, if people are, you're looking at coins, one of the first things I did was I searched around and I bought for, like, so the state quarters, the part quarters, what have you, I bought slabbed coins that were all the grades. So, like, you know, I bought a 62, 63, 64, 5, 6, 7 until that got out at a price range that I didn't want to pay. So I could sit and look at those coins and try to program my brain what the graders were looking at as far as why did they give it that grade. Yeah, so most all those I would toss back nowadays. And so that, you know, and I did that with, you know, the Lincoln cent, the nickels, everything else. So I could train my brain into what I was looking for. So what do we got here? These say Spitting Eagle Air. Let's take a look. This says die crack, wingtip to edge above quarter. Barely, but it is there. On the Washington quarters, if you want to take the time to look at them, common areas for die cracks are from the tip of the wing outward here, over here. You'll find a lot of die cracks coming up on the curve of the wings on both sides. You want to look for die cracks from the tip of the beak coming down or coming outward to the left and right, coming off the back of the head over this way. And then I find a lot of like die cracks coming up through the words in here. So I just kind of rotate them real quick in the light and you just look for a little blemish as far as what shouldn't be there. Yeah, when you rotate it light, you see the little dark spot right there for that die crack on the wing. Die crack, right wingtip, same thing. Man, it's barely there, but it's there. Another one. So those, I don't know if I have those labeled wrong. It said Spitting Eagle Airs. I don't think those were Spitting Eagles. What do we got here? Die cracks are in the quarter. So these are all die crack airs that I found. I used to, oh wow, yeah, big one. I used to like intensely look at every coin. So this one has a nice crack. We're going to see it's coming off the R right here, going up into the leaf. I don't know if you can see it or not. A little bit. Let's see if I can zoom in some more. Get the light just right. There you go. You can see it coming off the R and going up over the D. Crack going into the leaf. So you always want to check on the bottoms of all those. That's where you'll find those errors. Check the wing, the beak, the back of the neck. That's a nice die crack, honestly. Let's see here. Lower right wing. What the heck's going on there? That coin's just mangled, man. I wouldn't even say that's a worn out coin. That's not even an error. Die crack through O. Yep. on all these bottom ones, you want to look for cracks coming off the what's that? An olive branch going down into the words. Left side wing tip. Yep, that's a good example of it. Coming off the crack, wingtip. Yep. You'll find a lot of those. I found so many of them that I just stopped grabbing them. Because they're so common, you know, once somebody has one or two examples of them, it's not something that they really go searching for. All across the top of the wing. Let's see here. All right, so this one has a crack coming off the right side wing through E of America. I don't know if we can see it or not. No, you can't see it. Yeah, I got to get a scope this week. Definitely. Reverse die crack. Back of the head to America. Oh, yeah, that's a large one. Yeah, it's coming right off the back of the top of the back of the eagle's head. And of course you can't see it. Oh, you kind of can see it. It goes from the back of the head under the S in pluribus. Right there. So just to the bottom of the M in unum, to the S, to the top of the wing, through the A, through the M. That's a crack going all the way across right there. That's a large crack. I'm gonna set that one to the side. It's a pretty good one. Wing up through United. Yeah, that's one of those common ones. It starts at the bottom of the wing, goes all the way up into United. And then I just called these what? Toned coins. Spitting eagle. All right, let's see what we got here. So they call these the spitting eagle air. Pretty common one to look for. It's right off the tip of the beak. You can see it right there. Tip of the beak down into the neck. That's the spitting eagle air. Right there. Pretty common. Well, not super common, but that's a nice. I mean, you can see. I can see that one from here. We'll save that maybe for a giveaway. Another spitting eagle. Same, identical crack, curved and everything. Same one. Spitting eagle. So a lot of people will collect these by date. So there's an 86. This one is a 84. I just called that a nice toned coin for some reason. So that's probably a mint state coin. Got some nice luster to it. I think all these are that. Boy, there's going to be a lot of 2x2's ripped open. Tone, I'll toss that. Yeah, these are all coins. Nowadays, I would just fly through in a box and just throw them back. Nope. I need to just start a box and throw these in them. I mean, that one's in decent shape. It's kind of got a weird brown to it. Hawaii. Nope. Wyoming. Nope. Nope. Yeah, I have no clue why I kept some of these coins. Because I thought they were something back then, I guess. Damn, that one's got some nice golden tone to it. Anybody collect toners? That one's a nice one. I'll keep that one. Plus, that one's got kind of a heavy strike, too. If you look on the left side, how the rim is like really rounded and high compared to the right side. See how much larger it is? That's got a strike error on it, too. I mean, that's nice. I like that one. That's a keeper. So maybe there was one good one in it. How about that? I'm going to die, though. I pull a W quarter out of these that I'm just pulling. I'll have to laugh. What do we got here? 95. And then one of the criteria when I'm looking at just the regular Washington quarters, if I'm going to keep it or not, is right here in the neck. If I can still see the feathers right there at that high point, you know it hasn't seen much wear. That's not a keeper though. What's this one? Delaware. Obviously look for the spitting horse. I mean, that's in decent shape. It's got a lot of scratches there in the front. So toss it. Nope. So here's one with a lot of the diatrician air that we've talked about. So when I rotate it, you'll just see kind of like a white frostiness all in the fields of the coin. There, that shows up real good right there. See how it's just kind of frosty on the edges, all around the outer side. That's a worn out die. And it kind of gives it a kind of a foggy looking, I don't know, kind of a weird fog halo type to it. That's good looking. That's a nice coin. Keep that one. Same thing. Nicer diatrician. But back then I called it swirled luster. I had no idea what diatrician was. I just thought they looked weird. They looked nice. So I kept them. And I suggest that to you as well. If you run into something you have no idea what it is, don't toss it back. Just wait until you can get someone to look at it. Well, it's decent looking toner right there. Nice kind of gold on it. Too many cracks. What's this one? Nice tone both sides. Too many cracks on that. We're going to save that toner. And so I'm doing a quick scan on the, the outer. Just look for, see if there's a, any of those cut airs. Hints of blue and, yeah, that does have blue and yellow right there. That's a weird one. That one's gone. Toss that one. What do we got here? Golden toned Tuskegee quarter. That one's kind of... Dang, there's no marks on that one. I don't see any chips or nothing on that one. I'm looking at the high point of the cheek and everything. Just look for hairline bag marks or something. That's a nice looking quarter there. No. What we got here? Nope. Diatrician, same thing. They just kind of got that. And then on this 2015 Kissachi quarter, you want to look for die chips right here on the front of the front edge of the wing and down here in the feet. For a while there, I found tons of them and then stopped finding them. On the Ozark Riverways quarter, you want to look for a die chip right here between the trees, chip down here, chip on the roof over here. That's in decent shape. There's a nice golden New Mexico. I don't know if the metal mix or something was different with the state quarters a little bit, but I find a lot of them that are like that they're just kind of golden toned. Well, that's a nice shape there. American Memorial. That's a good condition. That one's rough. Michigan. North Carolina. Nope. Too rough. There's another one. There's no marks on that one. That's a nice looking quarter. And then I suspect on these, when you roll it, if you look right here, there's like a half semicircle that you can kind of pick up, like underneath the hair right there. When you run it around, you can see it right there. Kind of a, I think that has something to do with a die clash, because it coincides with the curve right here. The curve of the bottom of that moth or whatever. I think there was some sort of die clash or something that happened there. Unique luster both sides. On this, which one is that, a D? On the P version of the Homestead, I think they've documented over 115 different errors on it, with different die chips and everything. That's a Denver though, not too good. Yeah, that's a good looking quarter as well. There's no marks on that one either. It's just got the die attrition on it. That'd go good on an album. We'll keep that one. We got here Salt River. That's just no. That's a no. That's a no. That's decent shape. And so is that one. And I'll keep that. Or hell, maybe I could just sell the whole box of everything that's already in 2x2s. Let someone, because these might be good coins for somebody. That's actually got grease strike through air on it. See, back then I didn't even know how to identify that air. That is a crappy coin. No idea why I kept it. And that one's in good shape too. We'll keep that one. All right. I don't know if anybody's still here, if I'm talking to myself. If not, I'll use some of this footage as videos later. Let YouTube save them. I can download them off YouTube later and then split them up, make them videos. All right, what do we got here? Dimes. Yeah, I did dimes a long time ago. 20, 21. I'm by no means a dime expert. Yeah, that one's got that one's, the dies are totally worn out. Look at that, you can't even see the date. Barely see it. It's supposed to be down there at the bottom. Keep that one. Same thing with that one. Toss that one. And keep that one. I don't like looking at dimes. Keep that one. Are these all Lincoln cents? Great. So these are all ones I'd have to look at under a scope.
Freeze, go first.
Ain't no way I'm gonna go through all these. Nice shape though. 2000. Why'd I keep that? Has it got a wide AM? Nope. 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 That's nice. 64. Put that in a keeper pile. Decent 09. This says clip planchet. Let's see. I think it is. I don't know. You guys think that's legit clip planchet, or do you think that is damage? Where's it at? I might have to break it out of the 2x2 to see. I don't think it is. I think it's damage. Yeah, it's just damaged. Not a clip planchet. He's gone. 2018P. Nope. $2002. Why'd I keep you? Nope. Nope. That's decent looking 98. Yeah, it looked damaged to me too. Wow, that's a nice looking 98. Good reverse. We'll keep that one. Let me check it for wide AM while I'm here. I would love to find a couple of those. I found a couple of wide AMs in another box I went through that I was like, oh. Because probably back then when I was doing these, I didn't even know to look for it. Nope. Not a keeper. 95. Yeah, I know these are old. These are the real thick 2x2s that I used to buy. That's a decent 95. 2005. That's decent. 99. Come on. If I find like a nice 92 close AM while I'm doing a stream, man, that'd be awesome. 2002. Nope. 2000. Nope. Man, why did I even keep some of these? Nope. I just think all the time of me putting these in 2x2s thinking they were something. Nope. But heck, I may leave in the 2x2s and sell the whole stack. These may start somebody's album off really well. 2000, nope. That's a decent 2001, except for the reverse. It's got a bunch of crud, nope. Oh, we got some quarters in here now too. What do we got? We have weak strike. Bye-bye. You're gone. What is this? Obverse strike, bottom half coin. And that's a no. Offset strike with rim. That is an error. We'll keep that one. Dang, there's a nice 81. Nice cartwheel still on that one. Yeah, it's a lot to go through, Wayne. I got boxes of them, man. So now with my more discerning eye, I know what to look for. And I can quickly, you know, I can assess them more. That's wow, look at the reverse on that one. That's nice. Keeper 2003, keeper 01. Yep, it's a lot to go through. But over the past couple of weeks, I've taken back over $1,000 in quarters. I can't tell, countless boxes of nickels. That's a no, and that's a no. So it's, I guess, you know, I'm getting paid for my time. I guess. Let me give one of these away. Let's see here. Heavy strike both sides. Nope. This is reverse faded out in pluribus unum. What do we got here? See, I think I was even just making up descriptions. Who knows? That's a no. Misaligned die. Let's look here. That is very slightly misaligned. Not misaligned enough. Die attrition. Nope. Weak strike. Nope. Words are faded out. See, like, what kind of error description is that? Words faded out. which would be what? A strike through grease? I don't know, but that's a no. He's gone. Made up errors, doubling in the mint mark. That's a no. I may not even had a weak strike. No. That's just a damaged coin. This is why you go back through them. Now that one may have something, so we'll keep that. These are gone. Next good one I find, we'll give it away. Weak strike, no. Offset, no. Ooh, there's a good strike through grease. We'll give this one away. This is a good one. So I'll be the next one I'll give away right there. Look at that big blotch. Right. All behind Liberty. Look at that. That's a big one. See, I didn't even know what it was at that time. I just wrote mint error. I didn't know that was strike through error. And it's on the reverse too. All behind the state. Right there. We'll give that one away. Good luck. Boom. Let's see who wins this one. Winner is nobody. KJ in Ohio, you get it, buddy. Congrats. KJ. Right there, you get that one. I pulled that out of circulation February 22nd, 21. Mint error. That's actually a grease strike. That's a strike through. That's a nice one. That's coming to you, sir. Thanks for hanging. Weak strike. Obverse. No. Gone. Hell, this is almost tossing all of these. Doesn't bother me. 2004. That's decent. 02. Nope. 01. Yep. No. I mean, why in the heck would I keep that? Look at that thing. Why would you keep that coin? No clue. Makes no sense. It's a nice 06. No idea why I kept that. 2000. Look for the wide AM. Nope. No clue why I kept those. Unreal. It's going to take me more time to take these out of the 2x2's and roll them up than anything. That's a nice 06 right there. It's a nice one. It's a nice 2017 P. Only year of the Lincoln Cent to have the Philly mint mark on it. 85. No. There's a nice 76. Oh, that one. Yeah, exactly, Dagger. Or I don't know, or maybe I was getting ready to start the collection or something. That's a nice 76. 2017 P. No. No. 77. Keep that just for the copper. 2019. No. 82. 82. 81 copper. 2017's no. There's a 75. 86 no. 88. You want to look for the flared FG on those. It does not. Flared FG would be the proof reverse of 89 used on 88. 87s. You want to look for a any sort of doubling around the ear. Nope. don't see that. I've found 2 of those, I think, the entire time I've been searching. But I don't hardcore search the cent. We'll keep that one. I don't hardcore search them. There's a nice 88 right there. That's a nice one. This reverse 89 would be wonderful. It is not, but that's in good shape. That's a nice one. But I found one on those. What do we got here? Raised obverse. Dang, that is really high. Wow. What I got going on here? Oh, wow. Dang, that's a nice looking coin. I know you won't be able to tell, but man, it looks like Lincoln is just popping out of the top of this coin. I mean, he is like really raised off there. Hell, you can see the shadow of it. Come on. That's a nice looking 64. Oh, that's why it's raised. It's been something has pushed the center of this coin outward and pushed him up. That's why it's looking like that. But there's no damage on the front. I don't know, you probably won't even be able to tell. See, like, kind of the wave in there in the center, like it's been pushed down. But it's like raised Lincoln almost. That's weird. We'll set that over there, but I don't see any damage on the reverse, it would say. 72, 96, yeah, maybe 84 clip planchet. That is a damaged planchet, but we're still going to check it for a doubling. Nope. 90. Nope. Nope. Man. Oh, there's one box. It's gone. That's all 3 1964s. We'll keep those. Partial strike through. Let's see. Highly doubt it. Highly doubt that's the error. Let's see here. Partial strike through what? I don't even know what I was looking at on that one. No clue. Strike through something, I guess. There's another 64, 64s, and an 82. All right, these are all gone. Unless somebody wants them. Found DDOs on shield sense. Slots are really pronounced. I haven't really gotten into those, KJ. I rely on you for that information when you email me stuff, because I was like, I haven't even looked at that. All right, let me get a box to throw all these in. See, all that time for about 50 cents worth. But the bank will love me when I take them back to them. I keep them supplied just enough that they're happy. All right, toss these over here. Ugh. That's gone. Wait, let me get these out of the way. These were keepers. Go back. See, now I'll probably go back and just put these in tubes, or Because I really don't do Lincoln Cent albums. What I do, like if I'm going through a box and I come across, nice ones like that, I'll just put all of them in a tube. Memorial Scent, nice ones, put them all in a tube. And just someone wants Memorial Scents, wants to buy a whole tube of good ones, boom. They're ready to go. Or I'll do I don't know if I have any down here. For a while, I was selling them like... I don't have any down here, but when I was going through a lot of boxes of the pennies, I'd separate out the obviously separate out the copper, and I didn't even check them. I'd put all the 70s just in a big bucket or a bag or something, and then I was selling them in either $3 bags, $3 face, or $5 bags. But now the price of copper has gone up so much that what is it, like $5 worth of Lincoln Cents is what, like $17 in copper or something like that. So 70, 63. I mean, I'll just keep these because of the copper. But they're very, I've got so many stacks of them, I very well could have something, one of those crazy double dies or something everybody looks for. And those are just copper. Keep those. Because if I were to stop and look like intensely at all these coins, man, I would die before I got finished with them. There's no way I can go through all this stuff. No way possible. Alright, what did I call these? These are... It says tone. No. Nope. 4 cents now. Wow. That's a decent looking one. No. Decent. Light tone. I mean, why would I keep that? There's just gashes all over the front of that coin. No. Nope. See, I'm looking at the eagle's neck. That's got a lot of detail, but the obverse has been hit too many times. That one's actually got some planchet lines on it. I'll keep that one. Harper's Ferry, light golden tone. I bet I didn't even check them for the airs. This one, you're looking for the doubling over the windows over the door. There's multiple variations of that. That's a decent looking coin. We'll check that out later. 93, no. No. Then I found several of the massive strike through errors on these that I didn't catch the first time. Nope. And no. See? So I just made what? $4 right there. Cool. $4. $4 and another box I could use. How about that? Feed Fingers Dome. Die chips, arm and horse and nostril. What do we got here? Yep. All right. We'll give this one away. This has got 3 die chips on the reverse. So it's got a die chip here between the hat and the inner rim. It's got a die chip on the fringe of the arm back here and a die chip filling the nostril of the horse. 2016 P Roosevelt. If anybody's still here, we'll see who wins it. Yeah, 3 errors, 1 coin. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Who gets this one? Who be getting it? Did they pick a winner yet? There we go. Streamlabs, quit winning my stuff. I'm going to have to go in there and take Streamlabs off of it so they can't win. Him, Forget Me Bot. KJ gets another one. There you go, KJ. KJ gets that one. Nice. Congrats. What do we got here? Chip front roof. What's this one? Chip front roof line. Yep, sure does. Got a little die chip on the front of the roof. Right there. It's got one right on the front of the roof. You can see that little dot there. Right there. Little die chipper. Die chip right side of the big wave. Yep, right there. Chip belt tower. Yep. Snow on roof. That's barely. We're tossing that one. That barely qualifies. Chip front of the roof line. Another one. Same one. Low left window on side wall. That's a new one to me. Let's see here. Low left window side. Well, I think it does have one there. Wow, I must have really been looking at these. I would fly right by that one nowadays. Yep, it's got a chip on it. Wow, that must have been when I was really paying attention. You can roll that one again. On which one? It said KJ, didn't it? Oh, spread it. All right. Well, who's here? I don't even know who's here. I have no list. There we go. Oh, I got plenty of airs to go around, KJ. Don't worry. Die chip front of the roof line again. Dagger. There you go, Dagger. You'll get that one. Cross out KJ and Dagger gets it. There you go. What we got here? This says snow on the roof left side. That's, yeah, that's there. Die crack right wing. That coin's kind of worn out, but I can see the die crack from here. The rest of the coin doesn't impress me. No, it's out. It's out. Die crack top of leaf over wing to left rim. What the hell am I talking? Wow, yeah, it's got a big one. How about it? So this one's a die crack going all the way across the wing. Right. You can see it right there. Comes all the way across the wing to the leaf. Right there. Pretty cool. See if I missed anything else. Yeah, you'll be surprised sometimes if you just stop to look at them. I mean, that one you can see with the naked eye. Just I can see that from, a foot away. That's a pretty cool one. Die crack left wing. Yeah, not much. Left elbow. Yep, big one. Big one on the left elbow. That's a rather large one, actually. Right there. That's one of the larger chips on the elbow. They're gone. Boom. What we got here? Front roof line. Front roof line. Front roof line. See, I must have went through rolls of them, and they all had that air. This says die chip elbow, but I don't see one on the elbow. It's gone. Early stage snow on roof. That does not qualify good enough for me. That's out of here. Dang, I'm surprised I got through these. I'm impressed. Whole box gone. Collar error. Yes, I can see it. Don't know what that's for. Collar. That's not enough. Collar error. Let's see here. Not enough. God, it's got more of a strike through grease air than a color air. Not enough. It's gone. Boom. There, a whole box of quarters. But I did want to show you guys. I don't know if it's going to show up. I went through a pile of dimes. Now, if you look right, I've not found one of these before. There is a big die chip right here. You can see where it's raised right there. Yeah, I have to, man. There you can see it. That's a very large die chip. That's the first one like that I've found. And then this one had a chip on the other side in a different location that I'd not really seen before. Where you at? Right there. This one is right. Where is that one? It's right at the base of this leaf. It's kind of weird looking. It's like a little O or something right there. That's a baby chip of some sort there. First time I found one in that spot as well. Flow lines, feed finger dome. We did not look at this. Man. You want to look for, on Jefferson nickels, a lot of them will have feed finger lines right here on the back side of the dome, and they'll come down through the whole coin. But you got to kind of roll it in the light just a little bit to see it just right. Where are they at? You see them right there? Right behind the dome. I mean, I like seeing a little more of that. And not so much messed up on there. So that one's gone. Cool. What are these? These are all dimes. I'm not doing dimes. My eyes can't handle dimes right now. Not doing dimes. Right there, that's gone. What are these? These are, I already looked at those. These are... No, we're not doing those. Not doing them. Alright, what do we got here? Next stack. These are air quarters, Tuskegee, BU. Now we're liable to find something good in these that I didn't even know were good ones or not. Oh, these are all Washington 21P. You want to look for a die chip here. Die chips here at the base of the ponytail and bow. Want to look for feed finger lines coming under In God We Trust. You want to look for die crack lines here on the bust. You want to look for die clash in front of the face. Obviously that chip up here. Die chips in the words here. Feed finger lines under the arm. I mean, that quarter's in pretty decent shape. Got a nick on the chin, so it's gone. How about that? There's a nice toned one, kind of golden. Kind of a weird tone. We'll keep that one. Large die chip ponytail above the bow. Okay, so there's one right there with the die chip above the bow. That's kind of a smaller one. They get way larger than that. See that little bump out right there above the bow? I've seen them as large as the bow. But you could tell that's a uncirculated coin out of a roll. I mean, look at that luster on there. We may use that as a giveaway. Same thing, bow. This coin's in even nicer condition than that one. Yeah, I think these are all BU out of rolls. Ponytail. Yeah, these will be giveaway coins that I'll use. Die chip ponytail bow. See, that's got like gash marks in it. I don't like giving away crappy error coins. That one goes back. That one barely even has a die chip. What was this guy thinking? No. And I probably reached a point where I went, okay, I'm done putting these in 2x2's. And that's when I started slapping them all in rolls. Die clash in front of face. Let's see here. All right, here's the die clash. It's really hard to see, but it's in front of the nose, and you got to get the light just right to see it. Let's see here. I'm probably not going to be able to do it with this. No. I need to move the camera over is what I need to do. So if you look right there, when you roll the coin, it's almost another profile of the nose. Let me turn it this way. Maybe you'll be able to see it. Nope. You can a little bit. You'll just have to trust me. It's there. Looks like there's a die chip in the words, too. Yeah, so, and you'll see a lot of machine doubling in the word Delaware. Yeah, that's a nice example of that clash. Die clash again. Yeah, this one is not as good as that other one, but nice obverse. Oh wow, you can see that one from far away. See it in front of the face? You can see that die clash. Yeah, that's a really good example. And right there, I put unknown error. At that time, I didn't even know what it was. I put unknown error, but I knew there was something wrong. So that might have been one of the first ones I found. For me to write unknown error on it. Early hair flip die chip. So this is one of those examples when I was telling you earlier, look for die cracks going across the top of the head. This has got a crack on the mouth, and yeah, not good enough condition. Crack top of a hair moving into the field. Yeah. Not enough. Nope. What we got here? Halo swirled luster. That's a really, you see the diatrician, the kind of cloudiness, that circle I was telling you guys about. Right there, you can see it. And it's on the reverse as well. Kind of that cloudiness you can look at and see it all up through here. That's a nice looking one, actually. Might use that for a giveaway coin. Got some good giveaway coins working here. Die chip front left roof. No. Nope. Early stage chip roof. Not enough. Nope. Wow, look at that one. Huge die chip on the wing. That's a big one. That would be more of like the, more of a premium error that I would sell. Well, there's an example of one without the chip. And there's one with the chip. That's... Oh, I probably even put on there, largest chip found. Found that 6/8/23. Pretty good looking obverse too. Set that to the side. Early stage die chip on wing. Not enough to save. Even though it's pretty good condition. Die chip over the bird's eye, huh? Let me see. Nope, that's post-mint damage. That is not a die chip. Get out of here. There's a massive chip on top of the wing. Top of the plane right there, up into the word unum. That's a big one there. Really large one. We'll keep that one. Goes the giveaway pile. Strike through grease behind the ear. So here's one of those I was telling you guys about that you look for. When this air was first found, they sold for about $50 each. And now, oh wow, that's got a lot of it. Actually, you'll see feed finger lines from behind the ear, and they smear into the hair, kind of dragging it across. I need better lighting. I need a scope right there. You can see the feed finger lines. Right here is the strike through grease. That's the grease blob, but you can see the lines right there. Maybe, yeah, right there. Kind of a flash of them. Come on. There it is. See that big gouge in there? That's grease strike through. Keep that one. Feed finger lines behind the head. See here. It's very slight. But that's got a beautiful reverse. Nice frostiness there. And tone. I'll keep that one just the way it looks. I like it. Large chip on the nose. Who wants a large chip on the nose? Let's see here. Dang. Look at that one. They're on all of them. But let's also check the hat. For die chips, I don't see any. That'll be a good giveaway coin there. Large chip on the bottom of the wing. You got them on the top, you got them on the bottom. So, right, you can see it right there. I think my zoom's off a little bit. Yeah, there it is. Big blob on the bottom. That's probably one of the larger ones you'll see on that. Chip on the front of the hat. Big old chip on the rim of the hat. We'll keep it. Unknown air at the elbow. This must have been one of the first ones that I found. Oh no, that's that doubling. I know what that is. Strike through grease. Blocking 1787. Wow. Look at that grease strike. Top of the coin. Big blob. Took out the date. Something like that. That's more of a unique strike through air. I may throw that one up on eBay. Chip on sense. First time find of air. Strike through grease above the field areas. I'm an obverse. Yep. Large drool and nose chip. What we got here? So they call this the Drooling George. It's the big die chip at the mouth. When that air first came out, they called that the Drooling George. Man, I've had that for a while. Look how dark that is. Let's give this one away. Right there, we'll give that one away. See what we got. See who gets it. Streamlabs, you got to be kidding me. Streamlabs is gonna have half my collection. Gotta find a way to get Streamlabs out of the chat. Chew! Congrats, Chew. You got your drooling George coming your way, sir. Good job, Chew. Die chip top of the trees. Yep, it sure does. Snow on roof die chip. Die chips above and below the window. Let's see here. Wow. Yeah, that's a massive. They call that the snow on roof air. You can see everything on top of the roof. That is your snow on roof air. I must have just pulled that because it's a nice looking D. Feed finger lines behind the tree. Let's see here. I do not see them. It's gone. Dang, here's a massive worn out coin, worn out die. Look all in front of the face there. It's kind of like orange peel. You can probably see it better back here. Yeah, so just see how it's like frosty. Yeah, that's wiped out everything on there. BU out of a roll. And that's the way these coins were coming, out of rolls, brand new rolls. So that it just kind of just blotched. They probably struck several million of those. Die chip on the back of the bird's head. Let's see here. Yep, little baby one. It's there. Roof, bell tower, right side of the waves. Yeah,
Winner,
same
winner,
spots I've told you guys
dinner.
those are at. That's a nice BU coin. Nah. Nice tone, it says. Too many chips on the face. Doubling, God we trust. Let's see here. That's machine doubling. Yeah, not good enough condition. Doubling art. First time finding that error. Let's see here.
Your
yeah.
nose so bright. Won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
Yep. What time is it? I feel tired. Damn, 3:30. No wonder I feel tired. Feed finger lines above the hand. I'm gonna have to call it a night. Do an end of stream and call it. Well, I'm almost done with the box. I'll finish the box. Damn! See, I labeled that odd coin. That's post-mint damage. That thing's been filed. You know, but I guess back then I didn't know that. Blue-green tone. Nope. Nope. So there's a Maya Angelou with the Drilling George die chip. Big chip at the mouth. Die chip in the trees. Yep. That's a common one. Machine doubling. I'll have to recheck that one. Die chip top of the tree. That coin sucks. And die chip. Alright. Almost done. Box. We'll call it. See, that's a rare error because it's a deminted quarter. But if it's got that die chip at the mouth, yeah, not enough. Worn out die. DDO. No. Nope. Unique finish reverse. No. Coin's worn out. Die flow lines both sides. No, but that one's got a die chip on the roof. YS. Collar error. Die chip mouth. Almost smooth reeded edge. Have to look at that. Alright, we'll give this one away too. Let's see here. Dang. Here's a good one I'll give away. It's got 2 die chips on the nose, a die chip in the mouth. Sally Ride. It's got 2 die chips nose. One on top of the bridge of the nose, one on the tip of the nose, and a Julian George chip at the mouth. That'll be our end of stream. Maybe I'll throw one more in here. Let's see. Something. We're not worthy. One of these die chips ponytail be used. Yeah, we'll do that. That'll be the end of stream. Those 2. Boom, boom. Let me see if I can do my end of stream Streamlabs and get the heck out of here and go to bed. I had no idea it was that late. Let's get that off here. And let's see, giveaways. Bump, bump, bump. Complete. And we'll do that right there. 2 minutes enter giveaway. Exclamation point nom for the 2 coins. Yeah, my eyes are ugh. EOS, EOS, and good luck. EOS, EOS. Well, I thought I made a little money today. I don't know how many much in quarters here, but something. Then I've got plenty more boxes to go through. But that's just the quarters I'm gonna take back. I'll just just poke a little hole, instead of cutting the stuff, I'll just poke a little hole in the film right like that there and just pop the quarter out and roll them up. But yeah, appreciate you guys hanging. I'll probably go back through this and clip out stuff and make little clips of them. That way I don't have to actually record anything. Just BU. Die chip on the spout. Die chip E of Coleman. Feed finger lines. A worn out 1980D. And diatrician. There's another diatrician coin. See how it's just white in the fields. Alright, let's pick us a winner. Good luck, everybody. And oh wait, do I gotta end it? I guess I have to let it run. It's still got a minute. I gotta let it run its minute, and then I can pick a winner. Still got a minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. Well, at least I did get through some coinage. I feel a little better. I kind of procrastinated doing it. See, now I got to come back and I got to clean all this crap. This is what I leave for myself. It just goes. And then I go, oh man. Then I ended up throwing them all back in tubes and. Ugh. Well, at least I know everybody made it safe this New Year's. Nobody, I know, got hurt or anything, so that's good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I can pick a winner. Good luck. Oh, BH, exclamation point there, BH. I'll let you back in. Yeah, us older fellas, we never sleep. Haha. Exclamation point NAM, BH. Let you in. Power napping, yeah. There you go. Let me see it picked you up. There you are. All right, closing her down. And this is for the nose chip, die chip coin. Oh, hold on. Got the die chip on the tip of the nose. Got the die chip right there in the mouth and one on the bridge. And then this is the die chip on the ponytail. Right there. Die chip on the ponytail. I'll probably go through here and get you. Let me see if there's one with a better die chip than that. Something a little larger. Nope, nope. There we go. We'll use this one. We'll toss that one. Use this one. This one's got a larger die chip there on the ponytail. You can at least see that one. All right, there. Quick swap out. Good luck. Here we go. Ron Pierce. Congrats, Ron Pierce. And don't worry, there's plenty more air coins to give away. RP wins these. RP. Cool. All right. Push those down. Yep, I got way more. I got tons of boxes to go through. I let this issue grow way too long. I should have sold them and got rid of them a long time ago. Cool beans. Congrats. All right, guys. I will see you on the next one. We'll try to get a little rest and come back in here and start tackling my mess again. Much love for hanging out. Appreciate the support from all of you. Have a good night. Peace.